Hey young guys, Steve here again here from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. In this video I just want to show you guys what a beadlock is. I know all you experienced guys know what it is, but some of the younger guys or people just getting into the hobby not too sure what it is. So basically it comprises of three parts. The fundamentals regarding the aluminium, plastic or whatever brand rim it is basically the same. So you got here a back half, the center and the front half. So what these do is on every every tyre, RC or real car, they have an inner bead here, which is this section of the tyre right there. It's on both sides. And what beadlocks do is, as the name suggests, it locks the inner bead, so the bead of the tyre, against the inner section of this wheel half. So as you can see on one of these G-made wheels, I have it here already, so I've placed it inside here. So what that actually does, you guys can see, is when you put the sections in there, so here's the front half, you'll see, if I can get this camera to focus, that it pushes against the bead, locks it in against that center plastic piece inside there. Might be a bit easier to see on this outer edge. So now I'll grab the back half, and if you place it in there, I'll show you. So once I get it all in, I can zoom in a little bit. Obviously you screw them down, but if you see here, get the camera to focus, if I pull now, try to pull this tyre off, it can't, because it's clamped together with the front and back half of the wheel against the center section of the beadlock. Like this, pretty easy, but it works really well. And otherwise, if you don't have these, your tyres can just spin on the rim, especially with the high torque of the engines, that the motors that pump out now, especially for rock crawlers, they're a necessity. So once it tightens, the front, the back and front, or whatever you could say, of the tyre gets squashed in between these two sections, clamped down with all the screws around it, and it forms a lock, a beadlock. And even full-size comp cars have these as well. And pretty much four-wheel drives, anyone pretty serious in the off-road scene. So what I'll do, I'll put one whole wheel together, I'll show you guys how it looks, and yeah, it's pretty easy. So that's pretty much what a beadlock is, and I'll show you how to just put one together. You're putting these together, before you screw it all down and get it set in its final position, just make sure that everything is seated where it needs to be. You don't want to, I'll give it an example here before I screw it down. You're not going to leave it like this and then start screwing it down, because that is not actually locked in the bead itself. So push it back down, move everything around so it's all nice, as you can see here, how nice and seated that is in that wheel. It's not coming out. So that tyre is stuck, it's locked in between those two pieces, jammed in there, or you can say wedged and tightened down like a clamp, and it'll never come out again. Happy days. Now with these G-made wheels, and I'm pretty sure majority of manufacturers, obviously they're a bit hard to put together initially. So what they do, they send you two longer screws to first seat them together, squash the actual the three parts together, to make it easier for the smaller screws to grab. And then once you put the other four small screws in, you take these two other long ones out and proceed replacing them with the standard size screws. Otherwise it's just a bit too hard and a bit too time consuming to try and squash it together with one hand, and then trying to grab the nut at the back side here at the same time. I guess what you could probably clamp it together as well with a proper clamp, but yeah, that just works the way they do it. That's it. So nice. So as you can see, it's clamped down nice and hard. make sure that you just check it before you tighten everything down. But yeah, looks good. Happy with it. Nice stuff. So just obviously finished putting the other ones in and then see how it looks. So there we go. All completed, locked down and screwed. That's how it should be. As you can see, it's firmly seated on both sides. Let's make sure that this is nice and even and uniformed around both sides, which it is. One point to note is that, like on any full-size car, when you're undoing or tightening the screws up, you go in a certain pattern, and like they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this particular G-made series, but in fundamentally they're all the same. So there you go. As you can see, they're all locked in. Just as a point of reference, when I was saying earlier how these gives you 2 longer screws in the beginning, so that's how it looks. So these longer ones are put in together to squash the wheel together, the 2 halves to the center, and then use the smaller ones to lock it away. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's how it looks. That's a quick series of what's a beadlock and how to install. Cheers guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you around for the next one.